Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Anybody out there? Anybody awake? Um, just waiting for Art Gallegos to come out on. We're having difficulties on every time I go live. There's something going on. Just waiting for him to pop up. Anyways, I'm gonna show you his website. Um, so here it is. It's Latinos Conservative Organization, LCO, in Janesville, um, Georgia. In Georgia, yeah. So if you guys are interested, it's a conservative group, and Georgia is very active. He's from California, but he lives over there now. And I'm just waiting for him to pop up. But I gotta say, he's been uh, he's been on for a while. Hmm. He's having difficulties right now. Anyways, I'll be back on the air. See if I could. I'll be back right now. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Let's see what I could do. On my messenger. Well, that's going on. Just check out the website. Just give me a few seconds. Just click on the website. Um, there's always technical difficulties coming on. This ain't nothing new from my side. Um, okay, where are you at? Anyways, I'm back, you guys. His number's there to behold at 678-614-5011. Um, he should be on any minute. Um, hmm, that's so weird. Okay, well, gonna be calling them now.
It won't let me go in for some reason. I mean, I'm on my cell phone. My laptop's having trouble. So when I go there, it tells me this. Give me a second. It tells me, visit this page of Chrome to choose stream. I have Chrome already on my phone, and I hit click here, and it says, click here if you already have Chrome on your phone, and I did. And then the other option gives me, it says, don't have Chrome, click here. But I already have Chrome on my phone, so it's not opening it up.
That's weird, but I mean, you could click on. But either way, we're live already. I have you on, so we could start talking. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We could go live right now. We're live already.
Okay. All right, you let me know. So it's gonna be just audio, right?
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I'll just.
There's a way you can add a picture or something, but that's cool.
Yeah.
You might be able to modify it.
Yeah, it's usually that's usually the problem, but I don't know why it doesn't let you go in. I just sent you the link, so either way, we're live already. I have your website on. I haven't got no comments yet, but your website is on. You might want to talk about your website and as a community leader, what have you been going through since you left California to live over there in Georgia?
Well, we've been. I moved to Georgia back in '98, and then we went back home to San Diego, California for about 6.5, and then came back. I've been back in Georgia, in the city of Gainesville, specifically Gainesville, Georgia. I've been back for about close to 7 years, and for these past 2.5 to 3 years, we've been very heavily active with the community, with the law enforcement, with the government at city level, county level, and state level as well. LCO stands for Latinos Conservative Organization, and we established that organization a little bit under 4 years now, and it just started with two of us. We just kind of said, hey, we need to do something, maybe like a group or an organization. Conservative values, all been built in, and since I was a pastor, I was dealing with so many people. Already. It was a great fit for me because I had pastors that I was in contact. I had business owners that I was in contact, and it was a great fit for me to already start conversations with them. I soon got elected to the Fall County GOP in the county, and from that point on, I started getting really heavily involved with a lot of the city and the community events, and since I already knew a lot of churches and pastors, it made it very easy for me to bring the conservative message to them because I already kind of had the door open because of ministry. Mm-hmm. So when we started talking, we started forming LCO. We now have a board, of 4 people, and we constantly bring the conservative message, and we're heavily involved with community. We did a back to school prayer for about 3 years now. We've done city cleanups with partnerships with Keep Hall Beautiful. It's an organization that they're basically the city, that they clean up, and they supply all the bags, even shirts and all gloves and everything, masks. They supply everything for us. And I had about, the last time we did it on the city cleanup, I had over 80 people, volunteers, and these are all like, just Latinos, Hispanics that get together to volunteer to help better our community.
How's it going on due to the COVID-19 over there? How are you guys standing over on your grounds over there?
It's been it started slow, and then it gradually started opening up. When it all hit, about it. They knew about it, but they didn't know what was going on. So I came to find out early on because of the context and the relationship that I had with the hospital and some other people that are close and connected to the hospital, was that they were finding out that there was a lot of Latinos, Hispanics that were being contaminated and also found positive. And a lot had to do with the fact that you know uh, we're a good percentage. We're about 39 point some 39.2, and then we're like 41.3, in the county. So what has happened was that the first cases that they were getting from Latinos, that was infected and became positive, they happen to be construction workers. They happen to be landscapers. They happen to be with people that work outdoors that were being infected and had to go home. And then they all of a sudden it became like sort of like, hey, you have to self quarantine. And I recently got reached out by a newspaper, local newspaper, and said, what can we do to bring a message of awareness and tell them not to stay close with families and this and that, and even in the markets. And it's a little bit hard because a lot of these folks, what has happened is there's 4 or 5 that live together, men, and they're renting an apartment or something, or renting a trailer and a mobile home, and all of a sudden, it's like you self quarantine, but you're at home. I mean, where else do you go? So we did. It was very impactful in the beginning because it did come out in the media that all of a sudden it's like, hey, Hall County, they're getting a lot of people infected. Then all of a sudden it gets even hotter and say, okay, they're being infected and there's a lot of positives. And then all of a sudden, just recently, about maybe 4 days ago or 5 days ago, the governor had to do a press release or press, briefing, and the city of Gainesville became a hot spot. It became a kind of like a headliner because it was not gradually but heavily being increased with the numbers. I think we went from one day there was 200 and something cases to the following day at night was like 800. So it jumped like about 600 people that were being being tested and not necessarily found positive, but there was like from 200 and something in one day to the following day, it jumped from 200 to like 800. It jumped that way, being contaminated. Or having symptoms. And it's just we do sit in the we do have here, it's called the poultry capital of the world for a reason. We have a lot of poultry plants. We have a lot of poultry processing plants. And, we do have a lot of people that work in those plants that happen to be Latinos, Hispanics, that work there. And, it became sort of like, okay, so maybe it's happening there. Maybe they're contaminating the employees are contaminating other employees, And what they recently came to find out is that they had to run a campaign. The hospital asked us to run like some video clips, like say, hey, Art, can we get you to do a Spanish, 1-minute clip of asking them, hey, please don't go out. Please don't, if you have to go out, maintain that 6 feet apart. If you do go out, wear your mask. Please, especially like Easter, we were running campaigns by the hospital, by Northeast Georgia, medical system. They were running campaigns. They were running flyers. I mean, I was asked by the city and another organization to translate their flyers from COVID-19 awareness, wash your hands. It was just like a flyer, So I helped them translate that into Spanish. I was very happy to see that the city, even the webpage in the city of Gainesville started putting some material in Spanish, And right here, right now, I mean, I'm gonna speak freely. I mean, I think that the city, the county, they have done, and even the hospital system has done a great, excellent job in informing and trying to bring awareness, education to the Latino community. To say, hey, if you go to the market, make sure that only one of you guys go. Don't take the whole family. But I'm telling you, I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. I mean, that we're driving around the city and we see these, the Mexican markets, and you see that the mom gets out of the car, the dad gets out of the car, the kids get out of the car, and I'm thinking they're not even protected, no gloves, no mask. And they're all going to the stores. Now, I don't blame the family in essence, but or the businesses. But the businesses, they said that they were only allowed one person or maybe eight people in their building. But they know that if they don't do that, they're going to lose. They're going to lose money because people don't come and buy. So it's a catch-22. I mean, how do you enforce that? And all the thing, price gouging in the Hispanic Latino community has gone pretty high. A lot of the stores, a lot of the markets, they're saying that no, it's just a price increase. But people have reported to CEO and myself. I've had to make calls to a couple of businesses and tell them who we are, and if they have a statement, if they have a written statement, have they put a written statement in front of their building or their door or their entrance saying that. I think I spoke to a newspaper recently, and they said, what else can we do as a city, as the city officials, as the county, to alleviate this increase of people being infected and then found positive? I mean, there's nothing else we can do. I mean, we're still running the campaigns. We're still running the video. I still see a lot of people on social media sharing the flyers in Spanish and in English to be aware. But what has happened is that I tell people, I say, it is unfortunate, but sometimes and this, because this is who we are. Sometimes is our culture is sometimes they're not ignorant. We're not. We're just stubborn. We're very stubborn, and to believe and say, it's going to affect on me. That's not going to affect me. No, that's just the government doing this, or that's just the city. And until this day, with even the governor opening, businesses back up here in Georgia, which the precedent was, he voiced his opinion, and just like anybody else, I voiced my opinion. I think that it was too soon. I still think it's too soon, and I hope it doesn't backfire. But if it does, then that was just proof that he was completely wrong. But at the same time, business have to run. The economy here in the state has to move forward. There's people hurting. I deal a lot with the food bank here, one of the major food banks, and as an outreach coordinator with them, I feel that there is a lot of people that are out of work. There's a lot of Latino Hispanic families that are just they're not getting a paycheck. They're falling behind. The food, the kids are not in school. They're at home. Kids are bored. They're frustrated. There's a lot of stuff going on. So it has affected a lot of people, not just the Latino community, but we've talked to pastors, and there's a great need of substantial food. Of even people when they go, some people have really taken it serious and they don't go out, and so your food is running low, your laundry soap is running low, general house cleaning supplies are really low. So there's a lot of things that are happening. It's really, really impacted our city. It has put our city on the map, nationally. Because of the governor taking the initiative to open up early. And so many people, are disagreeing with that as well, and some are agreeing as well. But I think that yes, we need to get back, open up, and move forward. But I think gradually, I think these steps that have been taken, I mean, you can give a lot of rules and a lot of guidelines, but if we know that the majority of the people are really not going to do it, and then the businesses are really not going to enforce it, then that's just, for me, it's just too soon.
Yeah, that's what I've been. I was talking to our local mayor here in California, and he said they're not. They're barely going to get the business up running, not running. Some businesses are bankruptcy. I mean, it's just going on and on. And the list. And I got a press release late last night, from the county, and I know what you're talking about. I mean, I think it's not say our culture is stubborn. It's just they might see Univision. I know they see other outlets, but I'm noticing that they're figuring it out in Mexico now, Tijuana, San Isidro. I've been
Mm-hmm.
checking those outlets as well. What's going on those sites? Those reporters over there. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's a wake up call. That's all I gotta say. I mean, in my view, I mean, but yeah, we gotta wake up, and that's the reason I'm reaching out to all the Latinos all over the spectrum of social media, because you guys are out there. You guys are on front line. I seen your post that you've been busy with the governor and legislators up there, which is awesome. You know, and
Yes,
and
yes,
me
yes.
and putting that message out there.
Yeah, it's important. I think that it's so important. I wish more Latinos, Hispanic community members, and people that are businesses. I really hope, and I motivate many of them to really step out of the circle and really stand in front of the line and lead the efforts to for self improvement, with our community. We are, and I hate to say it, but it's a reality. We are a community that at many times, I don't want to say culturally, but I think it's just been a habit. It's been given to us that we are dependent and depending on everyone else to do it. And I see it in the political arena. I've seen it in the church ministry arena where, they ask somebody to do something. They're like, oh, me? No, I can't. No, you should ask so and so because I think he will be better. We always we always allow somebody to lead when in fact we were called to lead others, and I really believe, I strongly believe that there's got to be people now, pastors, church leaders. You don't have to be a pastor to be a leader. There could be a member from a church that says, you know what, I want to get involved. I want to make a change. I want to make an impact. I want to speak out. I want to speak out for those that can't speak or are afraid of speaking out and saying, hey, listen, we need this. We need this. Look over here, we need that. We need to stand up for our rights. We need to speak for others, and I'm hoping that at least with me and LCO, that may be a way that we can motivate others to really step out and step in front of the issues and really discuss them, debate them, and try to find solutions for it.
And you're right on that. I was looking to hearing a preacher on another network. It's called Manpower.
Uh-huh.
And the pastor goes, well, you don't have to be a pastor to lead. You gotta just lead. If you want to lead, you got your wisdom of volunteering. Go for it. You Because I'm not stopping you. Go help the community. Go out there. Don't wait for us. You gotta lead, and it's true. You gotta lead out there. Whatever your ministry is, just lead out there. And you're right on
Yes.
that one.
Yeah, it's so important for people to really, really, really do that. I mean, California, it should even be more easier because of the population. It's what a little bit or half of the state is Hispanic or Latino. And you have a lot of supports. You have a lot of organizations. Whether they're the right organizations or not, that's another story. But at the same time, here I can speak for the state of Georgia. There's been an increase of really people speaking out. There's been some new Latino, Hispanic organizations that have been forming. And for us, it's an honor to be not only looked at, as a leadership role, but people call me. I'm talking about people from the state, people from the governor's office, people from the mayor's office, people from the mayor himself, and the commissioners. They reach out to me and to LCO to really become that bridge of information and awareness to the Latino community. And we've been honored. We've been honored to do that. Recently, this past couple of months. I think it was in February. I was honored to be asked by the governor and one of the pro temp. A major high official, Butch Miller, Senator Butch Miller, to go to the Capitol and open up the session for 2020. And it was such an honor and privilege to bring not only a word of encouragement, a word of motivation, but also to lead the prayer and lead the opening prayer to the 2020, session for this year.
Yeah, I saw that you posted that. I mean, no, I mean the Rasta has to wake up and smell the coffee. I mean, they all go to Starbucks. I saw one of the posts locally. They all go to Starbucks, but they're all, they it just, I don't know what's going on. I think I just see it's a wake up call, spiritually, mentally, physically. It's just a wake up call for no matter if they're not conservative or conservative. Because I get all kinds of inboxes from local, because as a community I have to step up as well. So that's the reason I started doing these interviews, because I wanted to let them hear that there's things going on in the other part of the country, not just the West Coast, also the East Coast. As you as well. You're from the West Coast, but you're now on the East Coast. But yeah, I mean, I stepped it up in this media business because I figured, okay, if nobody's not listening to out there, let them listen to other voices locally or statewide, nationwide. And that's what I'm doing. I mean, because to educate our culture, it's hard sometimes to educate them, but they're finally getting the point now. I'm starting to see a lot of Latinos wearing their masks now. I'm starting to see with their gloves on. I'm starting to see them. They're working at other jobs. They're looking at other.
Yeah.
They're trying to do self-employment, but they're out there. And
yeah, I just recently, sorry to interrupt. I just recently, a day ago, had a friend from San Diego call me and say that his mother-in-law passed away due to this COVID-19. And here there's so much stuff. Sometimes I don't find the word that how we act in our community, especially in the Latino community. You go to a market and you go inside with gloves and masks, and a hat on. And I'm telling you, because I've experienced it, when I've gone to the market or something, get something, and you see that the cash register lady only has a mask, no gloves. She's handling money. She's handling your credit card. And then when you tell her, okay, just put the credit card inside and the receipt inside the bag, they look at you like, really? Like you're kidding me, And yet, they don't know that my two neighbors down the block passed away a week ago, and I'm here shopping at your store, and this thing is real, And a lot of people want to say it's a hoax. A lot of people want to say that it's it's the government, or hey, you're gonna get ill if you go and take the shot. And everybody has their beliefs, And there's a lot of truth to everything. But the thing about it is, listen, I rather look like a fool, and I rather look like I'm overboard, but at least I'm being cautious. And if down the road, let's just say down the road we find out that, well, no, it was something else, it was a symptom, it was not even that, whatever. Okay, great, whatever, it happened. You protected and you survived and you're alive. And we have noticed. I've talked to my niece. She's an RN in Texas, and a couple of days ago I had a conversation with her, and she's saying, Uncle, this whole thing, people are finding ways of getting around it. People are with it. They're contaminated with it, but they're dealing with it. It's it's a process. They're running it out of their bodies, But first God, and I know that it was very, very important for people to understand that this thing is real. It exists. It's an enemy that you cannot have it in this morning, and by the next morning you may have it, or you can get healed this morning, and next morning you go somewhere and you touch something, or you get contaminated. So right now we're living in dark times, but it doesn't mean that we have to live in a dark mentality.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, it's just an eye opener, because it woke me up as a spiritual part, but I mean, it woke me up. I started hearing preachers on YouTube, because I use a lot of YouTube, and these preachers were just throwing it out there. I mean, they were throwing theology, and they threw me back when I was going to theology school with the assembly, and I was like, geez, this is really happening. I went to Ephesians, I went to Romans. I mean, I just like, this is a wake up call for all of those that have
Yes.
took the side of, okay, church is church, but now church is online, and it's a reality to see it online. But at the same time, I'm still connected to the assembly, like both of us are probably. I'm pretty sure, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still connected to the assembly now. And I get these inboxes from pastors, preachers, members. They're like, "How are you doing?" And I go, "Hey, I'm just following the guidelines, CDC, but I mean, I do go out there and I put my mask on. I don't take a selfie of it, like, because they expect me to do a selfie, because I do say take selfies, but I don't take selfie. I just do my errands and I'm back home. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is that the over there, you guys got the hot spot. You guys are like right not too far from Florida and New York. You're not too far from there.
Correct. Correct. I mean, we have our own issues to deal with right now. We're just trying to get this thing going. Trying to making sure that we can bring down everything that's happening. I honestly think that people will wake up, like you said, and really find out and say, okay, how do we live with this? How do we protect ourselves? Recently, LCO and the vice president, Samuel Mason, had the opportunity to partner up with Northeast Georgia Latino Chamber of Commerce. We have great relationships with them, and they went out and started passing out cloth masks, in the Latino community, in the Latino markets, in that Atlanta highway where it's called Little Mexico, because a lot of the stores, there's tire shops, there's mechanics, there's markets, there's tienditas, there's everything. So and they went a Saturday morning and just they noticed, like, okay, so people are walking into the businesses with no mask. They're walking out with masks. The people, so they took it upon them, and we started passing out, these masks for free, that were donated, and hope to understand that people are aware and say, hey, listen, we have the mask, you have the mask, wear it. Now, if you have the tools and you don't use them, then that's on you.
Yeah, there's a reporter in Yucca Valley. He likes to report. He's called Leo Community. I reached out to him too, and he was telling me this guy was trying to sell tacos, in the corner like a San Isidro, in Mexicali, Mexico.
Yeah,
And this guy
yeah,
was, and the inspector, it's funny. I started laughing. The inspector tells him like, "You gotta shut it down now. You don't know what we're going through." And I didn't see with no mask, but I almost shared it, but I was like, and this guy ain't educated in Yucca Valley, so I'm reaching out to Yucca Valley Latinos. What's going on over there?
uh-huh.
Are you guys doing your homework? Are you just preaching, educating our culture? Because if you look at the statistics, which another part I was going to ask you, the statistics, I've been studying it. They say it's with the Hispanics slash the blacks and a certain age gap. And recently we lost a veteran as well. The 2 week right
Mhm,
before it started, 2 weeks we lost our local veteran, World War II veteran, Korean vet. Sorry,
mhm,
he was 65. We were all
mhm,
crying online. We're like, really? We just spoke to him a month ago, and he passed away. He was one
mhm,
of the numbers in the local city, and I reached out to the local VSO, and they said, "Yeah, it was him." I said, "Okay, I'm confirming. We'll wait till all this is over. We'll do his honors because we want respect this Korean vet, Hispanic. His last name
mhm,
was Mendoza." And I was like so in shock when I got the message. I spoke to him about a month ago online, and everything was
mhm.
fine. But yeah, it just we get to that point where we just can't believe we're losing left and right. Colleagues of ours, friends of ours, and
Yes, yes.
and
And we know, and you mentioned something very important that I want your audience to hear this. Um, you know, People here, such as organizations that are kind of against the government and kind of, kind of more very liberal. Let's just put it that way.
yeah, the liberal ones.
They're saying that there's no guidance, there's no rules, there's no help, there's no resources for people that are in poultry plants. Uh, the poultry business and the poultry plant. You got to be there. You got to be moving. It's a line, right? You can't work that from home. You can't work that outside from car to car. You can't put a line outside and have people sit in their car and then just stick their hand out. And it's part of what it is, and it's a reality. You protect yourself as much as you can with the resources you have. Now, I've talked to the heads. I'm talking about the president and the presidents and the people that are in charge of these poultry plants. What are they doing besides? I mean, they were already being protected. They were protecting in a manner that, I mean, if you see a member in the poultry plant, they protect themselves with their hair, their gloves. They even have like a uniform from. I mean, they're covered up. They have goggles. They have masks. They have like a clear mask. They have gloves. So I mean, these people are already being protected because it's just like in the food industry. You don't want the food to get contaminated if you have a cold, if you have a flu. So they've done other measures. They've done other changes. They put, they built, like clear dividers, plastic dividers from one person to person. They've moved. They've made a gap. They've separated people more as possible. And so there's a lot of things that have been done that people are not talking about it. They're just talking about it like, why do they let our people get contaminated there? They're not protecting. They don't supply them with gloves. They don't give them masks. And you know what? It's all false. And it's all a lie. It's all a lie because, there's proof that they have the supplies. There's proof that they have it, and that really gets me fired up because then they make it sound like a political thing, like, okay, it's them against us. They don't care about the Latino race. They don't care about us, blah, blah, blah. And it's not about that. It's working together and finding the solutions. Now, come to find out, yes, 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 yes. Number one, okay, in Hall County and in Gainesville, there's a great percentage of Latino Hispanics in the city and in those poultry plants, and you have whites, they're not being contaminated. I'm telling you, yes, we've discovered that, okay, wait a second. Yes, there's a great number, a percentage of Latino Hispanics that work in poultry plants, in many poultry plants. But why do we hear that the Latino is the one that is being contaminated, but yet in a lot of these poultry plants, you have other cultures, you have other races that also work there, that wear the same gloves you wear, that wear the same kind of coats you wear, that wear the same kind of mask you wear. So why are they being contaminated or being positive? Okay, why? Because it's not happening there. It's happening outside of these businesses. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying is, again, we leave those businesses, we go home, we go shopping, we go doing laundry, we're going out, we go in the cars, we let the kids go out and play, and so forth. I'm not blaming the Latino community. I'm just saying that if we should be cautious as we are and being protective when we go to work as when we don't go to work and even at home. You know what I'm saying?
And I know what you're saying because it's mainstream media's in the scare tactics. I mean, that's the way I see it. The mainstream media, I stopped seeing CNN. I stopped seeing the main outlets. I just look at the PSAs, listen to my music, and go on my next interview. But I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, it's just the mainstream media is just sending the wrong message.
It's shameful that they come out, the liberal media and the mainstream media, it's shameful. It is. And you know what? There's a saying that you and I know in Spanish, no hay ciego como el que no quiera ver, and it's unfortunate that, Telemundo, Univision, and all these liberal media outlets, they it's like all of these homes, if you go to somebody's home here, they're watching it in Spanish, the news, they're watching it, they're watching novelas, they're watching this, they're watching entertainment, and it's all in Spanish, and it's unfortunate that it's on Univision, Telemundo, and all these other outlets in Spanish that are very liberal, that they're not ashamed of putting stuff out there that's a lie. And not only that, it's like we don't have. We honestly, I would love to see a huge national network, that would be, in Spanish, that would be neutral at least, to really show the facts, and be more realistic, and quit lying to not just our community, the Latino Hispanic community, but to be honest to the whole world, and it's shameful to see that these stories that they come out with, and they twist it. I mean, they'll use the same pictures. I mean, we've seen it. It's been proven. I sit down with folks, and I've talked to folks. I say, it's so funny that it got aired. That same picture was aired like 2-3 years ago, of something, and they use it to capture the attention and just kind of do a lot of booyah. We call it booyah. Just
Yeah.
to rattle people. Like, oh yeah, you know, people joke about it. About our president. They joke that, oh yeah, so he's gonna send. You're whining because you want him to send the money, but yet then when they send the money, you want to be you're questioning. You criticize the president, the government. And and I'll say it this way. You criticize the hand that's feeding you, and yet alone you want the benefits. But yet you throw rocks
Yeah.
and stones. And instead of being a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And that's what I'm talking about. We have to get out of the mentality of being beggars, of depending on people and the government to take care of us. We have to stop getting out of that mentality. And you know what? Let me tell you, there's Hispanic Latino businesses, human beings. There's Latinos that they clicked on them, and like you said, they woke up. They woke up and said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait a second, something's wrong here." So they start questioning. They start researching. They start finding out. And say, "Man, I was blind for so many years, thinking that they were doing this to us, but yet it's on it's the contrary." So they try to put fear, because if we have faith in people, then they lose. So they try to bring fear in all different ways, whether it be social media, whether it be the outlets, whether it be the news liberal outlets. I mean, they bring all they can fear or criticize or say, yeah, you see, I guess so, and I really truly wish that the Latino community would have more of a motivation to be involved, to get involved, to be aware of things, and like I said, I'm telling you because this is my culture. Sometimes we can get a little bit lazy. We believe everything that people publish. We believe. I mean, I'm telling you, recently, about a year ago, somebody published, that the immigration ICE was at a poultry plant. And from what we heard, it was like half of one quarter or a third of the people that were there, they ran out and they went home. Come to find out that it was not true. They come to find out that they had a search warrant to go and get this guy that had a criminal record, and he never showed up to. They showed up to another poultry plant to basically arrest him, and yet somebody found out, and then they were telling him, well, not only one plant of poultry was affected, but a lot of other plants, they didn't know which plant it was. Like, hey, till later on they said, oh yeah, mira, la Victory número uno, dos, la migración, la migra está allí, ICE is there, and you're just scaring folks. You're scaring folks. And that's the strategy. That's the strategy. It had always been. They did it, for many years with the African American community, and they're still now doing it with the Latino Hispanic community. But let me tell you one thing. There's a lot of us that have woken up. There's a lot of them that are waking up. And there's a lot of them that, what, they're taking a nap, and eventually life and the things around them, it's going to have to wake them up and say, okay, you know what, what's the truth and what's not.
Yeah, and going on that research, I've been doing it every other day, and I'm an analyst because I do a grant writing and all that. But I mean, doing my research is like really, and like I said, I decided to do these interviews because that's my cup of tea, being a father and a journalist. But just saying that the Raza needs to wake up, and the Raza starting to know I'm interviewing just pure Raza, not nobody else, just pure Raza. And one girl questioned me yesterday. She goes, "Well, I'm in the insurance industry." I go, "That's who I need to interview. You're next." So
Yeah.
she's next, and she's very influent in the community. She's very involved, but she contacted me yesterday, and I contacted her too before I well, it was both you guys at the same time. And
Mm-hmm.
what's funny is that she's like, "Yeah, you're right. Our culture is not waking up. We gotta wake up. Wrong information is true. I mean, it goes on. And I noticed even with the churches, I'm starting to see that the churches are understanding. Hey, this is reality. You know, the churches alone
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
valley where I'm from, and I seen
Mm-hmm.
churches up in San Diego what they're doing. You know, they're out helping the community. You know, instead of asking for a handout, ask for go in reality. Because I got involved recently. They invited me to be on this local board now, since I help the homeless. I'm the homeless
Mm-hmm.
advocate for the with the lawyer. I have a lawyer behind us,
Mm-hmm.
and they're unhoused. And now that this is going to double our homeless population, people don't understand it. It's going to double the homeless
Correct.
population. That's another
Correct.
topic we're talking about right now behind the scenes. This is
Mm-hmm.
going to double the homeless population because those are going to unemployment. Okay, what's going to happen? Unemployment. A lot of these stores are not going to open up no more. They're going to select their certain people, and that's it. And I'm looking at the retail stores now last night, and I mean
Mm-hmm.
it just goes on and on. I mean, but our churches got to wake up and smell the coffee because church is changing, technology is changing. I found out a lot of people from the Hispanic didn't have YouTube, didn't have Facebook. They were all disconnected. Now they're all connected. They all want to know what's
Mm-hmm.
going on now, and I'm starting to see that in my own household. Everybody's on the phone. So
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some good things that come out of this. And number one is I think that those that were not technology savvy somehow they're going to have to get on the train. And I'm glad to see a lot of stream live the services, the pastors, and those were the people that were just not doing it just not because they didn't want to, is just because they were used to doing things a different way, and now we're just waiting, and I hope that even after everything becomes and gets, sort of a normal, um, get some normality in our lives, we are going to be able to, continue with that. Bring a lot of the information to the communities. I'm glad to see pastors in the forefront. That they're out there, distributing food, doing food drives, doing food distributions. And that's what it's all about. And I hope that that doesn't end. Especially about working with homeless and vets. That that's part of it. I mean, I also work for a food bank, and that's what we do year round, 365 days a year. And the other day, some pastor put there saying, well, I mean, if you're going to be going out there and putting pictures that you're helping the community, you shouldn't, because that's just to show off. And I'm thinking, well, you show, you market your church, you market your services, you market your things. I think that this is a great way for people in the community, including government officials and government and city officials, to see that the church is stepping out of the four walls. Because the day is going to come and say, okay, well, what did you do? And then when you say, yeah, well, we did this, and you don't have nothing to back you up, it's not believable. At that point. But I think that it was great that we were able to connect. Let's do this more often, and I think that it's a great way of really bringing a message of awareness. And like you said, there's a lot of people in the Latino Hispanic community culture that we are waking up and we're saying, hey, you know what, this is not right. What they're telling us, that's not what it is. And I go back to that saying, que no hay ciego que no quiera ver. And we have to take that blindfold away from our eyes. And I'm glad to see that pastors, church leaders, business leaders are stepping out and speaking out, on behalf of what's right and in behalf of the community, the Latino community.
Okay, bro. Thank you, and yeah, it's an honor to talk to you. It's been a while, even though we see each other on social media.
Yes, yeah, it's been a while. Let's stay in touch. And to me, it was an honor being with you, and I'm glad that hopefully that your audience can capture the essence of what we've talked about. Capture that, hey, there's a movement out there that we need to get involved. Yes, there's a spiritual movement, but there's also a community movement of serving others. I have a saying that love what you do and do what you love. And I think that you and I are a product of that. And that's because we have Jesus Christ in our hearts.
Amen. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited because from one night to one night, I have already 20 subscribers, doubled. I was putting you on, so thank God for
Awesome.
my subscribers. Those that have been, yeah, on my YouTube subscribers. I want to thank them as well because I went from 30 to 25 overnight. It went to 55. I just saw it this morning. I'm like, whoa, because I shared that you
Yeah.
were going to be on air as one. Two, I
Yeah.
said
Awesome.
conservative. Three, that I put on the professional sites, LinkedIn,
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube. So you're be gone on. So those people are out there listening. So I want to thank my listeners as
Awesome.
well. So yeah, I
Awesome.
jumped as right when we were texting last night. Yeah, But yeah, I'm excited because hopefully we do meet up soon because East Coast is not too far waiting for me as well. I got to be in DC, but I don't know how that gonna happen too. So I got to be in DC. We're talking behind the scenes on our homeless coalition on that our
Awesome.
travel. And
Awesome.
we have a big coalition. It's called California Homeless Union, and I'm in the union. I'm the union president down here. So
Awesome.
it's awesome. But yeah, and they're also his pastors, deacons, and they're cool people. They're because
Nice.
we always
Nice.
talk about the unhoused, and they're not just
Yeah.
numbers. They're normal people just like you and me. We even talk
Yeah.
about when you fed me. When I was naked, did you feed me? They always talk about that constantly. That scripture. So that's always
Yes.
in my
Yeah.
mind.
Yes. Yes. We have to have a heart of service. I think that that is the biggest calling that every human being should have. The call to serve others. Because I'm telling you, when you serve others, blessings follow you. God's blessing, will follow you. And I've seen it personally, where we've been a blessing to others and serving. It's a great joy. It's a great satisfaction. And God, has put us in places. I've had the honor to go to the White House. I was at the State of the Union. Again, opening up the Capitol, staying heavily involved with the state and local and also county government, and they respect me and they respect our organization. But I think that all that has to do, number one, because God is over us, and it's been God's plan. And I tell people, God will set you in a platform that you would never see yourself, and I'm a living testament to that. That never thought I would step into. Number one, be at the U.S. Capitol. Number two is be in the White House, and number three, be inside the White House, speaking to senators, congressmen, and being in meetings. And God's been good, and we're just serving God in every platform that He sets for us. City council elections are going to be coming next year. We're going to be prepping for running for city council here. It's time to represent not only our community, but to represent the conservative values, core values, and also to most of all to represent God, because He called us to be the light.
Hey man, yeah, I'll be doing that too. I'll be pretty soon on the board on another state, not California, but another state, conservative state, to let you know. I've been
Awesome,
asked to run for another state, and the
awesome,
door's open in another state, but I'm not gonna say the state on phone, but online. But they'll see me out there. Yeah, I was honored to be called to another state to serve as a conservative because these liberals down here don't just want to hand out, not a hand in. Always tell them they don't like when I tell them that, but they always want to hand out, not a hand in on my
yeah, and
services.
that's the truth. That's the truth.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks for calling, and I know we had
Thank you.
technical difficulties, and we'll be contacting
Yeah,
more during this whole session. And yeah, thanks for being online, and Share
Awesome.
this on social media, and we'll talk later.
Sure will. Thank you. It was my pleasure being with you.
I'll see you
Bye.
then.